tell us something about the history of this place?
Well, it used to be the Nationals before Crones took it over.
Aye.
They bought it in 1970
Aye.
and just carried on as Kippers since then. Of course, it's been closed as a Kippering place for the last 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
When the sea closed for the herring, they just never started it up again.
Aye.
But they still do Kippers down in Edinburgh, well, New Haven.
Aye.
Okay? But now, of course, it's just a depot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Aye. But did you say it was initially built as a Red Herring house?
Yes, 100 years that Kells has been since they were built.
Aye.
But it was it's Red Herring,
Aye.
and there's 8 kells, and they put 2 kells every week, seemingly. That's the history of it.
Aye. So could we call Red Herring?
Well, they have to be smoked for 6 weeks.
Oh.
Again, and again they're going dry, like hard fish.
Aye.
Well, like Red Herring. Okay? Well, Alec Reid, it used to be the foreman here. He used to put up before Christmas. Again, a few.
Aye.
And again, it was quite good.
Aye. So Red Herring would be smoked the same way as other fish, but they just smoked
Longer.
Smoked for 6 weeks. So if it's a normal smoking period for normal herring?
Oh, well, here, you see, they used to work them during the day. Again, you go to herring in the morning, and they're cut and washing out the rest of it, and putting in the dye, and then they put them up at night for night, and they smoked all night, and then they were ready for morning.
Oh, so it was just a day's process and smoking through a night?
That's right. And then they were packed in the morning, you see.
So, if there was a difference in the taste between the Red Herring and that?
Oh, well, the fresh, the Kippers, you can just like the herring except smoked. It was soft, but the Red Herring, they were dry, came hard, actually crispy. Yeah, that was a difference. I didn't like it myself, but liked the Kipper. Mm-hmm.
So, the smoked herring you're speaking about is Kippers?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, that's Kipper. It was Kippers with the bone in and Kippers with the bone out. Okay? So that's, and they did Kipper fillets as well. Okay? So it was a busy place. Then of course they did mackerel in the off season. Okay? And they smoked them as well.
Mm-hmm. So who did they smoke the mackerel?
Just the same one, up the kill. Okay?
And so the smoked mackerel, did they turn it like Kippers when they throw smoke?
Well, the same
process?
The dye, same, you see. They didn't put them through the dye. Okay? But it's the same process otherwise.
So who did they taste beside the herring?
Well, I couldn't tell you, I never ever tried the mackerel.
No.
Okay? But just the Kippers. So I couldn't, but the Diakin things with them now doing in New Haven, they put in different things into them and all the rest of it. Just the same as they do down in British fish canners and that. Yeah.
So if it was roughly, say, a normal turnover, a fish here in a day's time during the busy season?
About 200 grand, well, grands or units, okay, in a day, in a yard. With 2 badders and that shade there, and then with 5 splitters and the bigger shade. And so that's, well, the badders, there's 2 women each badder, and then 1 under the splitters.
So did that carry on just through the herring season and the mackerel season in the Broch?
Aye.
Oh, aye. So after the herring season and the mackerel season was finished here?
Oh no, we got down to Alipool.
Oh, aye.
Or Malik, the different seasons, and for Loch Inver, okay? And Loch Fyne herring, with them, so it carried on. And since my time, in the last 20 years, like.
So was the yard working through the entire year?
Oh aye, oh aye. Mm-hmm.
Smoking herring and mackerel?
That's right. Mm-hmm. Oh aye.
So how many folk would have been employed here?
In the rush season and our ordinary season been 100 and odd.
100 and odd folk working here?
It was a day shift and a night shift, you see.
Oh, I see.
And then you had a dry side as well. They would keep our fillets, they trimmed them and put them into little fillets and made them up. So we'd look that on. So, that good stuff. And then with the Mark Street yard as well. See, so they had another 50 odd doing there.
Oh, so it was a busy place, Crones. And Crones took this over in 1970?
Yeah, they bought this for the National in 1970. But they were in Mark Street for a lot of years before that. Like.
Could you tell me just a normal process if it happened to the fish? For example, the fish had been taken for the harbour in a lorry and
Up here.
and loaded up here somewhere.
And then they were taken in there and washed, you see.
First washed.
First washed and through the thing. And
So-
then they had to be, cut kind of for fillets, like the bone had to be done with the badders. And the rest of them went to the machines. And they were split, just opened up again, the bone kept in. And then after that they were put in the pickle. So that was a process in itself. And then after that they were put onto the tinder sticks and hung in the kiln.
Aye. So how many folk would have been roughly washing the fish?
Well, there was a few, I guess I couldn't tell you exactly how much folk was at that process, but like, there had been a few. And then in the vats, well, with the hoses going all the time.
Aye. And then, of course, would there have been a lot of folk filleting the fish?
Well, there was mostly in the machines, you see, splitting machines, they did that. Okay? But the folk, they were on tintering, is the name for it, onto the sticks. There was a lot of women doing that, see? And then after, the next day, of course, the dry side came out. You see, when the kippers come down the kiln in the morning.
I see there's still a lot of spales lying in here.
Mush,
Mush. It was that?
that's for to put into the kilns for to make the pyres.
Aye. So is that left off the days
That's
of kippering? Aye. And
Oh.
so how long ago is it since you kippered here?
Be 14 years.
14 years since you kippered.
That's when the seat closed, you see, mine there, and stopped the close for a couple of years, so never been up there yeah.
And is that dog spales now?
That's what it is. So we used to get him for the salmon,
Grey salmon.
grey salmon. So with a bigger stock, of course, we had it stocked up, that mush hole, as it's called. Well, there's a few of the yards going since it was closed, like it's with a big stock there. So few of the little yardies, like Johnny Sam and them, going. So that's just what's left in here.
Aye. So now there's two flares here, isn't there? Aye. So the first flare had been the fish processor.
It was the machines and everything was there, and the pickle and that. And the second floor they were putting upstairs. There was a lift, you see. They took them up and there was, and then the tinters, they tinted them onto the sticks. There was big, table things. Well, we had a trough, again, as you call them, and the herring was empty tent out after they were died. And the woman took over then and put them onto the sticks.
And what the nails?
Those cookies, that's what they did. So after then there's a floor, well, it opens up for the kiln. After it's closed, and they'd strung in and they handed them up. The smokers climbed up the kilns, and the woman handed him up to them.
So there had been the vehicle bringing the herring in for a start, then there was women washing the fish for a start, then the fish was processed
and the machines.
In the machines. For there it went up into the loft.
No, the dyeing.
Downstairs as well.
It was downstairs as well.
And then you get up into the loft.
And up into the loft.
Aye. And for there the women up there put them on the hooks.
That's right, put them on the tinder sticks.
On the tinder sticks upstairs. And that was handed to the smokers.
The smokers was up the kiln, you see, they climbed up the kiln, and the woman handed them up, you see. Once this row was filled up, they climbed higher up again. Well, we started up above, and that's how it went on.
And then, of course, the smokers would have been up in the kiln, there'd been no smoke at it.
Oh, no,
They opened, the doors had been closed.
Closed for that, you see.
And then they opened up the doors.
The smoking was done during the night. And they were emptying up again, and then there was women unpacking them during the night as they were ready. Okay? It's interesting.
Very interesting.
It is.
So now, fit markets was there?
Well, it was markets all way really, especially south and Spain and all that again.
So your markets were in England?
South.
And then in Spain?
Spain, and
So-
we had Spain, now they had to get them in a different colour.
Ah.
See, on a different country, different ideas. Okay? So they tell you what colour they wanted. Okay?
Was that a different colour altogether, or was it just darker?
Darker and like that. And then there was pales as well. Some farms like it in pale without the dye. Okay? Just the smoke. Oh, it's a lot of processing thing through to get a kipper. You wouldn't really drink it, but it is. Okay? Mm. Oh, quite interesting, I suppose. Okay?
And of course, winter stand and all, and that days now the kippers are really tasty.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, what is the difference today?
Well, the difference is at the youngins, just when they smell up their houses with it.
Aye.
Okay? That are that boil in the bog and sort of things that you know what it is. They just, the orders just never come back after the sea was closed that year or two. Okay? But all our folk like me, they would smell up their house for it. It's worth it. Okay? But that's it. It's just how it goes.
So, and of course, Crone's firm actually is a south firm.
It's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh
Actually,
firm.
And their place for the Kippers now is in New Haven. Okay? But the offices is in Granton. Okay? But,
And so the yard today, fit does it day to day?
well, nothing. It's just a store actually now.
Just a store.
Okay, for the boxes and that. Okay. Well, it was open in the season for the herring, but they just went to the coal stores. Okay, for freezing. And well, it's mostly the Japanese market now. You see.
Aye.
And so it's a rose that they want. Okay, so that's what we was doing this, and then we're just waiting for the mackerel season to start.
So the future of the fish trade in the Broch, for it used to be with yards this size, now it's finished, is
Oh,
it?
definitely. The little yardies is doing kippers like a Smith and J.H. Smith and Johnny Salmon down Mark Street and Ian Smith doing it, so it is. They're still doing it. The little places is doing some. Just the same as there. No. Of course, McFishers, McRae's, they do them. Okay. No, unless it's just died out. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
It really is.
So they used to employ about 100 folk, 15 day shift, 15 night shift. And there'd been a manager, I suppose, here.
Well, Alec Reid was thing with, well, he was yard. He was in charge during the day. Okay? And the boy, he'd smoke her at night. And look after things. And then the women packed it. There was a night shift on to pack the kippers into half stones and stone boxes, ready even from the times the trains. Well, you had to hear them at 1 in the morning for going to London and act when the train was. And then the Sutherlands took over after that. That was it. Nothing was away the next day or into the cold store to be frozen.
Have you any happy memories of that days in the Kippering Girls?
Because there are rough crowd in the fish as you'd imagine, but the hearts are gold. They were a rare lot, okay? Oh, you missed them, really. You missed the crowd.
You mean rough be language?
Language-wise not. But otherwise, if they could do anything to help them, they did it. Really.
So it was like a big family unit?
Yes, it really was. It really was. They were a rare crowd, really. And they have been here for years. Okay? A lot of them, well, for me. Okay?
Did they sing?
Oh yes, the song. They were nice singing and everything.
What sort of songs did they sing?
Well, just the old-fashioned tunes, really. Okay? Because well, it was an hour crowd. Okay? They sang all day long. Okay? And then in the off-season, they used to we put a lot of herring into the cold stores, you see. So they were defrosted, well, they were out here defrosting, and then they processed them as well, you see, in the off-season, the mackerel and all. And they used to sing all day long. It's surprising.
Okay.
Well, they worked at 6 in the morning. It started at 6, you see, in the morning to bring me back if it was left the remainder, because the night shift worked from 10 at night till 6 in the morning, and then the day shift come in at 6. 6 to 8 was supposed to be 8 to 9 their breakfast, and the hard life really, because well, it was the calm mornings, nothing. But no, they were a jolly lot, really, then not much complaints or nothing. And with no good pays in our days either. No look for forgetting now.
Can you recall the pay roughly when you first started here?
When I first started, that was in Denmark Street. The women were getting £4.50.
£4.50 a week.
And the men was £7.50. That was their pay then. That's back in 1968.
68?
Cool.
So how many years did you work for that?
Well, they must have worked it for, at that time, 6 o'clock to 8 in the morning was just ordinary time. They didn't get, but after that, as things processed with the unions and so forth, they were paid overtime for 6 to 8 in the morning. Okay? And then the rest of so they worked at 8 hours a day, or it depends if the herring was finished early, they got finished early. The harder they worked it, the quicker they got finished. Their quota was done, you see. We're hard workers, we're good workers, really. And even after, when we closed 14 years ago, the right saying, mind if we start up again, we'll come back. Of course, I let them do all for that now.
Of course.
Yeah. So, a great lot, really. Fairly missed them.
Can you recall any of the hardships that all folk had? I mean, all our folk is maybe even alive at even.
No, well, most of them are really, but they really had a hard life, I suppose, you can hear before that, even. Because, well, as I'm saying, that was their pay then.
And most of them, you said, were widows.
Most of them, it was a lot of them widows came, others with families and that, you see. Now, a lot of them took their kids doing, they played about in the yard when they were working, when they were off of school, like. And then we were in lorries, of course, to run up and do the hair for the stuff, and the herring, and deliver them to the train or the lorries and things like that. Okay? It's a busy place.
Very busy place.
And busy place with folk coming in for fries as well. Okay? Right queuing up for a fry. It was interesting. I enjoyed I wouldn't have been now that years if I hadn't liked it again. What a great lot, really.
Of course, money out of fries were for nothing, weren't they?
Of course, I think you do here, it was for nothing. Then, of course, all the staff got a fry every week. Got your 8 kippers, that was your fry. Yeah. It really was good. I've enjoyed it, really. Yeah. Just, that's my one wish, it didn't seem to open again, but I doubt it now. Yeah. That's as I was telling you, I was asking Abby, he used to be a buyer here. Abby Davison, by here. Been again. So I was he comes over and every time I'm doing, and I was asking him who all he says they're 100 years old. That girls. I says, you'd hardly believe that now, would you?
Yeah.
So that's about I've been out with 1890 or something that they'd been built.
The herrings really.
Well, you see, in that days, man, it was just the summer season. Because there wasn't the cold stores and that freezing for off-peak periods, you see. But that's what he was saying. It's when they were built 100 years ago. It's just chief waste.
So how many yards, similar to this size, can you mind in the Broch and your earlier years?
Well, there's the National, the Cronston, yeah. I was doing in Castle Street, doesn't he matter any? Starks, McRae's, of course, and Denmark Street as well. That'd have been the biggest things, I would say. And then the little yards, see.
Because it was the bars. And
Well, that was the Herring, you see. The bars and Lowe's down in Commerce Street. That was more like Curin yard, I would say.
Is that for the taxi firm is new?
And
Commerce Street.
It's Commerce Street, if it's the next street, Commerce Street, Commerce Street, that would be Commerce Street. Oh, I think it's no I don't know. It's for at offices and that, and there's a yard going right at the top. Close for Watt and Stevens. Was in there. And there was even further down. But what's this new factories, McLeay's and McFish's, well, I was near them then.
Yeah.
Of course, on Connacht's, so they had girls as well. Okay, and that's our way back. That's for the war. In their high days, you would say. Oh, it was a good few yardies. Of course, even then, well, that was the end of the brook, was just up the road here.
Of course.
Watermill Road, you see, that was the end of it.